Yes, I do have a Beamer. I keep it at my place in the Hamptons. Hi, Christian Tom here. New York City has the highest ratio of single women to single men of any city in this country, nearly 7 to 1. And guys, if you're employed and bathe regularly, that number can double or even triple. So fellas, if you can't make it here, you can't make it anywhere. Oh, and if you don't have time to bathe, just throw on a European accent. That works too. Yes, I keep my BMW with my Aston Martin in Southampton. But enough about romance. Whether you're a man or a woman, it's sink or swim when you're up on that stage. And your boobs cannot be used as a flotation device. Unless they're really, really fake. So don't call them female comics. They're just comics. And tonight, comic Veronica Mosey will tell us exactly what that means.
Where's my coffee?
It's frustrating. Like, I've tried this online dating stuff. I don't know if you guys have ever tried this, but the worst thing about online dating in New York City, everybody puts the same hobbies down. You know what the most popular hobby is? Hiking and biking. Just real quick, just where the fuck do you hike? Apparently there's no more elevators. You just rappel down your buildings in the morning.
Okay, how is it different being a female comedian than being a male comedian?
Less spots. That's a good one. And you just don't get as much of an opportunity. First of all, I think you have to spend the first couple minutes on stage proving that you're funny. Because if they've seen one woman who's not funny, then they're just gonna assume that you're not funny. And when you go off stage, a lot of times when you kill, like I always do, you end up coming off stage and having somebody say to you, you know, I usually hate female comics, but you're really funny.
And this one guy wrote, I prefer women who like candlelight dinners. He had to specify that. I prefer women who like candlelight dinners. And I don't know a lot of women who don't like candlelight dinners. And I was thinking, maybe he had a bad experience. Like, you know, maybe he made the dinner and they lit the candles and then she walked in and was like, what the fuck? What's at the candlelight dinner, you fucking asshole? You said we were going hiking and biking. Maybe she was like a burn victim. The candles.
Now, how do you navigate around that? Do you play differently to the women in the audience than you do to the men?
No. I play the same to everybody. I want every single person in that crowd to like me. There's absolutely no reason for me to play to the women when I like men. I just think it puts you in a frame. That's it. This is what you're supposed to talk about getting your period and how men suck, right, ladies? Oh my God! Like I used to do a whole bit about that. I actually had a bit about female comics because I hated them so much. I hated the way they came out and put you in that category. And I think the problem is, again, you have to remember that you're representing the community. I know it sucks, but it's the way it is. When you're a minority in any situation, you are representing the community. So if you're a female comic and you get up and all you talk about is how you can't meet a guy and all these like women issues or female issues, douching or whatever the heck it is, no one's interested. And then what happens is you just ruined it for the next girl because when she gets up on stage, she's gotta, you know, she's gotta deal with the fact that guys are gonna go, oh.
Do you ever get corrected by a kid? That sucks, right? Especially when you can't say shit back because it's like your friend's kid or your brother's kid. I was at my brother's house and I was talking to my sister-in-law about this movie. And I was like, oh, the movie was so stupid. My nephew's like, that's a bad word on Veronica. And I was like, movie? I didn't know what he was talking about. Right? He's like, stupid is a bad word. You shouldn't say that word, right, Mommy? And my sister-in-law backs him up because she's a fucking bitch, right? And so she sits there and she's like, yeah, we don't say the word stupid in this house. I was like, yeah, well, that's fucking stupid. Yeah, and then I got in trouble again because apparently fucking's a bad word too.
But despite some of the negatives, there's a lot of things that female comedians can get away with that I can't. In your act, you can talk about slapping kids and it's cute.
Right.
If I do that, there's no other way for it to be perceived than angry.
Yeah, that's true. Because anything said with a smile, you know, and a little wink, gets you in a lot of, I mean, women can do that in many things in their lives.
Right.
They don't want to admit it, but they do. So, yeah, I definitely can get away with more.
I just think we coddle our kids. Like, wait, they have to get hurt. They have to hear bad things to learn how to handle life, right? Like, my brother and his wife have this 6-inch foam bumper. It goes like this around their kitchen table. So my nephew won't hit his head on the table. Okay, the best way for a kid to learn not to hit his head on the table is to let him run by and hit his fucking head on the table. Like, let him run by and catch his eyelid, like right on the corner of it, you know what I mean? Or if it doesn't happen organically, that's okay. Just grab him by the back of the head and smash his fucking face into the side of the table. And while he's on the ground, be like, that was really stupid. Lesson learned, right?
In the beginning of my career, I dressed in mini skirts and boots and shit because I thought, oh, if I look sexy on stage, if I look hot, then people will pay attention to me. And I found it's actually the opposite. Like you can look sexy and attractive, but you can't look like slutty. You know what I mean? It's like there's like a kind of a fine line. Once you do that, then people say, oh, we're not going to pay attention to what she says.
Well, that's all they're focused on.
Right, exactly.
I know,
When women say, well, I want men to respect me for my brains and not my body. It's like, yeah, but all you're doing is expressing what a whore you are. So therefore,
Exactly.
That's how you're gonna be portrayed. It's frustrating. I mean, when I see like at the club, a lot of times I'll see girls come in and they'll be completely blitzed or they'll be, and on this guy and I'll completely rag on him. I will rip him to shreds. And it makes them hopefully look at themselves and go home and say, geez, I look like a real moron. And for the most part, it usually works. Yeah. So, but otherwise I get, yelled at by some girls like this at the end of the show. Like, I can't believe you said that about me. Seriously. Like, I sound stupid. Like, you think I'm stupid? Stupid. Like, I can't stand the way they say any of that shit.
One thing I can't stand in this town is protesters. I think protesters need to work on their shit, okay? First of all, get a job. I never understand where these people work ever, but they just write signs and march. And I heard these people protesting the war. That's cool. But they kept chanting 2, 4, 6, 8, down with anger, down with hate, 1, 3, 5, 9, occupation is a crime. And I was like, odd numbers are not cool in a protest. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, we've heard that. That rhymes with hate or discriminate or irate, right? 1, 3, 5, 9, never mind that there's no 7 in there.
A female comic needs to just know who she is. If you know who you are, you've got all different aspects you can talk about. You don't have to just talk about being a woman. You're a human being. You've got a million different things going on in your life, and you don't have to do that. And all the women who have made it big have never had sexually specific material. Ellen DeGeneres is a lesbian. She doesn't talk about being a lesbian, ever. She just talks about life and living. Roseanne Barr, Domestic Goddess Routine, was more about family. It wasn't about like, I'm a girl. It was all about family and how she perceived life. So I think if you want to become, a respected female comic, or respected comic, just, kind of forget that you're a girl. That's what I essentially think. You have to just be who you are, be a person.
I try to do that.
I know you do. I hope you figure you out soon. That would be nice.
Hey, I'm Veronica Mosey. Thanks a lot, guys. Had a great time.